Go ahead, tell your friends to tell a friend to tell a friend. Okay, intro. Lamont sauntered into the grill room like he owned the place. Mr. Jackson, the maitre d' greeted him warmly. Mr. Green is waiting at your usual table. Lamont gifted him with a courteous half smile. The usual table was the best one in the Midtown Manhattan restaurant where the power players converged. A dark-skinned man with an imposing build and a cocksure swagger, Lamont Jackson was not conventionally handsome. Rather, he had that well-groomed sheen particular to rich, image-conscious men. He cut a formidable swath as he strolled through the room in his favorite biryani suit, chin up, acknowledging fellow members of the media elite with friendly nods. The masculine scent of his Bulgari cologne lingered in his wake. He derived a soul deep satisfaction from being watched, being known. He felt their eyes upon him as he approached Irv Green, the 66-year-old chairman of Augusta Music, who had been ranked number 10 at the last year's Entertainment Weekly's Power 100. After his own record label had achieved its best year to date, Lamont had landed in the magazine's annual honorable mention spot at 100.5, an insult. He would have preferred not to have been mentioned at all. Lamont consulted his petit Philippe as he slid into the booth. Am I late? Irv Green was a stickler for punctuality. It was something he and Lamont had in common. No, Irv said cordially, not bothering to get up. Right on time. They enjoyed a warm professional relationship. There was no need for formality, though if Lamont had arrived first, he would have instinctively stood to greet the music industry legend. They ordered lunch and made small talk until Irv finally addressed the unspoken topic hanging in the air. So it's true, he announced between bites of salmon. Really? Lamont attempted to sound surprised, even though rumors had been swirling for a month. They want you out? Yeah, Irv said. The fuckers. He leaned over and in a confidential whisper said, so everyone knows already, huh? Well, not everyone. What are people saying? Listen, Lamont said. HMG can't ask you to step down. They have no cause. None, Irv agreed immediately. It's a forced retirement. He was reconciled to the fact that he was being pushed out as the head of Augusta, where he had been cranking out hits for more than 35 years. What bullshit, Lamont spat, truly outraged. Even at 38 years old, as the CEO of Triple Large Entertainment, Lena Popley will have founded in a joint venture with Augusta. Lamont was feeling the heat from younger moguls in training. Bullshit it is, Irv sighed, but we operate in a world that worships the young and exiles the old. He shrugs. He'd been wrestling with the dilemma for a month and had let go of his hangers. Technically, Lamont had to report to Irv, but mostly he was the master of his own ship. Irv wasn't going to tell Lamont, an African American who had the post of urban culture, how to run a hip hop label. Irv had been one of Lamont's most vocal supporters to the higher ups at HMG, the German conglomerate that owned Augusta. The same fuckers that were trying to push Irv out of his job. You remember the first time we ever had lunch here? Lamont reflected. 9 years ago, when we were working out the joint venture. I remember like it was yesterday, Irv said. You had on jeans that were too baggy, Air Jordans, a yellow hooded Morehouse sweatshirt, and you kept taking calls on the cell phone that was the size of a brick. I was embarrassed to be seen with you. Lamont didn't want to be reminded of that. But remember what you said to me that day? People were just starting to realize hip-hop wasn't a passing fad. I said the Germans at HMG were racist, and the only reason they wanted to get in bed with me was because green was the only color that could make them go blind. Irv nodded, and I said, I'm a Jew from Konarski. You think they like me any better? To them, we're both ninjas. Accept it and move on. They both chuckled at the recollection. It was the best advice I've ever gotten, Lamont said. Still is. He learned so much from Irv, how to handle corporate politics, how to groom and break an artist, even how to dress. Lamont looked to Irv now, casually attired in a white shirt, no tie, what was left of his dark brown hair elegantly slicked back. The shirt was so crisp, so sturdy, So blindingly white it almost had a celestial glow. Where did you even buy a shirt like that, and how much did it cost? You also said, Lamont continued the trip down memory lane to massage Irv's ego. You make hit records. We all make money and everyone's happy. A thoughtful pause. You've been producing hits for 35 years, Irv. You made them a lot of money. You're still on the top of your game. It's not right what they're trying to do to you. That's what everyone's saying. Irv smiled and raised his glass in appreciation. So what's next? Lamont asked casually, self-serving to the bone. He was more curious about what the shakeup meant for him, and then more than what it meant to his mentor. Golf's not my thing, Irv said. Might start my own label. I can write my own ticket. A differential, of course. And they're still deciding on my replacement. The pause was so pregnant it was expecting triplets. Say it, Lamont said, silently urged. Say it. Irv Green looked across the table and smiled genially. If it were up to me, the job would be yours today. But I do know you're at the top of their list. Lamont leaned his considerate girth back on the leather banquet and pushed his plate of risotto away, taking a moment to compose himself to his deep baritone. Taking a moment to compose himself so his deep baritone would not sound too eager in reply. He felt like jumping up in the packed dining room and shouting, I'm ready, but he only shifted slightly, and when he spoke, he sounded cool and calm. You know, I've been thinking of branching out, he said, and doing some R&B stuff. I have some things in the works right now. Wonderful, Irv enthused. That's what you need to do. Show the Nazis you're not a one-trick pony. Irv wiped his mouth with his cloth napkin. There's still a lot of work to be done before I leave. Everyone's going to be watching you, Monty. Show 'em what you can do. As soon as Lamont hopped into the back of his Mercedes Maybach, he called Daryl McHenry, his all-purpose whipping boy. They'd already spoken about the brilliant idea that had come to Lamont last night. Daryl was just waiting for the word Lamont had free for him. Call the girl. And that's the end of the intro. So I'm breaking down into each chapter because I won't be able to upload it all up on TikTok at one thing. So that's the end of chapter 1. I'm going to end this live. Thank you for listening. And I'll see you when I do chapter 1. Thank you. And I'll see you when I do chapter 1. Thank you.